Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be telling you about my labor and delivery. So this is going to be a get ready with me, so let me jump into doing the makeup while I chat about what happened. Hi guys, so if you're watching this video, that means that this little guy is out in the world. Oh my gosh, and that's so exciting. Today is April the 12th and I still have 12 more days until my due date, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to document these couple of days since my family strongly believes that I'm going to have him on my birthday, which is April the 14th, in 2 days. But we don't know. If you can hear the fan, that's great. That means that I'm not dying from heat stroke. You know what, let me just turn it down a bit. Hopefully that's better, and hopefully you can see me. You know what, maybe it's best you don't see me looking the way that I am because I'm tired. I just got home back from the hospital, my clinic appointment. So I'm not even home. I'm by my mom. My mother thought he would have been born today. I don't know why. She has her whole theory. But today it's around, that was what time? That was a bit after 12, so there's still a chance. There's still a chance, but I strongly doubt that. Anyways, an update of everything that's been happening. I had my first contraction on the 5th of April. And since then, which is last Monday, and since then I have had like nothing big, nothing as extreme as the one I felt on Monday. And the one I felt on Monday was very bearable. It wasn't anything bad. So what it feels like is, it feels like period crumbs. Well, that's how it felt to me. It felt like period crumbs, but just a bit strong. It was bearable. It was okay. I just breathed through it. Shammer was jumping off the bed because he's so excited, if that's the word I'm gonna use. But since then, I've just had a bit less intense ones. My hips have been hurting a lot. Every time I lay down and I have to get back up, my hips would be killing me. Or even when I'm walking on the road, sometimes I'm just walking, sometimes my hips would kill me. And that is normal because I went to clinic last week Friday, and I told the midwife, and she said that's normal. It's because, you know, your cervix is a part of your hip bone, and so that's why it hurts, because the baby's head down, they're right there, and it's just causing a lot of pressure and a lot of pain. So let me tell you guys, with the first contraction, we were laying in bed and we were about to fall asleep, and I felt this tensing up. And you know, sometimes when you want to fart, your tummy starts hurting. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was gas at first. I thought I was gonna fart, but the fart wasn't coming, and I wasn't feeling anything like this fart even approaching. So I'm like, okay. And then it just got more and more intense. The cramp got a bit more and more intense, and that's how I knew that it was a contraction and not a fart, because, you know, yeah. So I saw a doctor today, and he told me that in order to come to the hospital and check in, I would have to be having contractions like every 10 minutes, and they should last as at least 15 seconds. So I think I still have time before that. I have a feeling that he's gonna come either on the 16th or the 18th. My husband thinks he's gonna go his full 4 weeks and come on the 24th, because that's the due date. So let's just wait and see. That's all for April the 12th. If there are any more updates for today, I'm gonna just come back later and let you guys know. But the video before this one here is what is in my hospital bag, and I actually did that video on the 13th of April, which was the night before my birthday. And I don't know, I was just having this feeling that, you know, let me just do this video just in case I do go into labor. I already have the material. So the night I was sitting and I had begun having a couple of contractions. Okay guys, so today is April the 13th, one day before my birthday. And next update, today I had a total of about 5 contractions. yeah, I think it was about 5 to this morning. Those were close together. They were about 7 minutes together, but they weren't extreme. It was very, very bearable. And the 3 this afternoon, the first 2 were between 34 minutes, and then the last 2 was 24 minutes. So they're getting closer to each other, but that means that we are progressing. They're bearable. I just breathe through them and I am fine. So tomorrow's my birthday. I'm gonna be 26. So let's see if this boy is gonna come on my birthday or not, because there is the chance. So we're gonna wait patiently and see. So yeah, that's the update for today. Everything is Gucci. I'm fine. I'm okay. We're just waiting. We are waiting for his arrival. Let's see how many days after today it's going to take. So I don't know. I felt like my body and my mind was telling me that this boy is gonna come soon. So that's why I decided to start filming. So on the 14th of April, I woke up. My birthday, I was officially 26. I had started counting my contractions from the 13th because they started getting a little bit more consistent. They were still far in between, but they were consistent. At midnight, I got a contraction and I said to myself, oh, it's him telling me, wishing me happy birthday. So I just said okay, and I went back to sleep. Well, at least I attempted to go back to sleep, because after then the contractions started and it became a little more intense, but they were still very, very bearable. It was like period cramps actually. I was sleeping and I would feel one, I would wake up and time it and just record it and go back to sleep. So the morning of my birthday, my husband had to work and he didn't want me to be home alone. My entire pregnancy, he didn't want me to be home alone, especially coming down to the last days, because he didn't know, just in case anything happened. He wanted me to always have somebody around me. And I understood that because, me myself, some days, even though I wanted to be alone, I just knew that for my own safety, it's best that I am with other people. So we got dressed and we were on our way here. And in the car, well, there was a bit of traffic on the road. So around 8, after 8, my contractions, while we were in traffic, were coming closer together. Like every 4 to 6 minutes, my contractions were coming. And I was like, is this boy gonna come today? Seriously? We got here and I told her immediately, as soon as we got to the house, I was like, I'm having contractions and they're coming really close, 4 to 6 minutes. She said, go around by the clinic, see if you could talk to a midwife and get advice. We got into the car again. We went around and I spoke to one of the midwives and they told me, oh, they asked me like, why did you come here? You should have gone straight to the hospital, blah, 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 blah. I gave birth at public hospital. A lot of people have bad experiences there, but while I was there, I didn't have any bad experience. And the reason I went there is because I have family and friends that work there, so I knew I would be taken care of. The reason why I went to the clinic is because I wanted them to check to see if I was actually ready, if I was actually dilated. I didn't want to go to the hospital, waste my time, waste everybody's time, and I'm not even ready to give birth. But they said to go. So we went, we came back by the house and we got mommy and we left and we went to the hospital. We had called my niece's mother. That's before we got to the hospital. We called her and she said, yeah, come immediately, because if my contractions are coming that close, then more than likely I'm in labor. Anyways, we eventually got to the hospital. But the thing is that while we were on our way to the hospital, my contractions just stopped coming consistently. And so I became worried and I was like, did I overreact? Am I gonna waste my time? Am I really in labor? Gosh, I would hate, that was me telling myself, I would hate to have to go to the hospital and spend long. I just want to, when I go give birth and go home. I guess I jinxed myself, people. One of my friends was working triage. That's where you go and you get checked and everything. That's before we even go into the prenatal ward. So I went, she was working triage and she was the one that admitted me. She did my blood test. She drew my blood and all of this, took my pressure and all this, right? They hooked me up to the baby monitor. We heard the baby's heartbeat. Then they checked to see how far I was dilated, and I was 2 cm. I was 2 centimeters dilated, which was good. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, lovely. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be making this baby today on my birthday. Oh, my feet hurt. So they decided, okay, I'm gonna be admitted. There was a couple of women that needed to be admitted, so they wanted all of us to go up one time. So I was just sitting waiting for the other women. I was outside sitting with my mother, with my husband. We were all so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have this baby today on my birthday. We're gonna share a birthday. Oh, that's so lovely. That is so lovely. Who told me to say that? So it's half an hour later from when I was just speaking, because I had to go a nurse and I had to clear up some space on my phone to continue filming this video. Where was I? Oh, all the women were placed and we were all now heading upstairs to get our beds. I think it was around midday. And I just waited, and I waited, and I waited, and the pain was coming, but nothing was happening, so I continued to wait. Around 3:30 that day, they did a stretch and sweep. Guys, up until that point, I had never felt more pain in my life. A stretch and sweep. They put their hands up your woo-ha, and it feels like they're just going around. It feels like the doctor was just doing this on the inside of my uterus. That's what it felt like. At that moment, I wanted to say, Doc, just pull out a baby. Just pull him out now, because that pain was intense. And they do a stretch and sweep to try and progress the labor. But honestly, it didn't work for me because I was still there waiting to dilate a little bit more. But still nothing was happening. So the night of my birthday came. I was still in the hospital.
Happy birthday to me. So I've been here for about 8 hours now. I'm just tired. I just want this boy to come out. They have to check me again to see how far along dilated I am, but the last time they checked, I was still at 2 to 3. And that was about 3.5 hours ago. They check every 4 hours, so I'm waiting. I'm just tired because I didn't sleep much last night. So they're checking baby's heart rate. So I'm just gonna lay here until it is my turn, and I'm having a contraction right now. So, and it's getting more and more intense as time progresses. I'm tired. Did I say that? I'm just tired. I just want him to come out so we can go home. He made me spend my birthday in here all day. He took up my entire day, and that's fine. Because once he's here, he's going to take my entire life. So he's just starting now. But hopefully, let's all cross our fingers and pray that the next time they check me, I am far along. Let us pray. I'm just laying here waiting for my turn. If anything else happens. And yeah, look at my hair. Imagine that I went to my mom today to braid my hair, and boom, bam, bam, baby time. So I'm not even looking presentable in the hospital. That is all for now. If there's any more update, I will get back to you. I've been having consistent contractions now, every 2-3 minutes, and that's because I'm walking. So yeah. That's for now. An update of what has been happening. I got checked. I think I told you guys that I got checked around 11 something last night. If I didn't, then okay. Anyways, but I got checked at 11 something, a little after 11, and because my pain was increasing and the contractions were close, so the midwife checked me and she said that I wasn't dilated. I said, okay, contraction is coming. Then the doctor came this morning at around 4:35, yeah, and he checked me, and I could have sworn with all the pain I was feeling during the night, I was like, I surely have made some kind of progress. But guess what? Nope. I'm still not dilated. My cervix is still closed, and I just feel defeated. They said that they don't wanna send me home right away because of the pain that I'm in. So they're gonna wait until later to check me again to see if my cervix will have started opening. So please cross your fingers and pray that it does, because I'm exhausted. And guys, honestly, I just like after he told me that my cervix was closed still, I just broke down and cried. Like I couldn't hold it in anymore. I broke down and I cried because I felt like as a woman, this is what my body's made for, and it's just taking so long to do what it has to do. And but it's okay. I feel I'm just so tired, mentally and physically, because I came in with such a positive attitude, and it's like every time I turn, I'm just getting beaten from all directions. So right now I'm just waiting for some breakfast to come for me, and if anything changes, I will let you guys know.
Between the 14th and the 15th, around 3 o'clock, I was still at 2. They checked me about 3 times, and I was still at 2. I was not progressing. And I felt like my body was not cooperating with me. In that moment, I felt like a failure. When you're at public hospital, even before COVID, it's just the woman, the mother, gives birth alone. And my husband was not interested in seeing me give birth. It's like he doesn't want to see all of that, and I understand. I'm not gonna force him to come in the room and be uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, I felt like me being alone and giving birth by myself was the best option for me, because I was able to just focus on me and to just be in that moment. That was the best thing that I could have done, the best experience that I could have had with giving birth. And if I get the chance to do it again, I'm gonna do it the same way. All the time it's different doctors, because remember, this is a public hospital. Doctors, some are working one day, some are not, so everybody's on rotation. So it was different doctors that I was seeing all the time. On the 15th, they came to me after they checked me, and they said, we're gonna discharge you because you're not progressing. So you're gonna go home and you're gonna try and exercise, do different things to try and progress. And when you do feel like you can't deal with the pain anymore, come back in. And I understood. I respected it, because honestly, I felt like while I was in the hospital, I felt like I was under so much stress that I was not allowing my body to relax. And with everybody just calling or messaging all the time to find out, oh, how are things going? Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. It's like I'm glad that people were checking up on me, but like at the same time, I felt like I was so stressed out, because I'm just focusing on answering people and thinking that, oh my gosh, my body's not doing what it's supposed to do, and I should have already had my son already by now. That it's just stressing me out. I was busy comparing my birth experience with other people's birth experience instead of focusing on what I was going through, and that was what was stressing me out. I wasn't getting much sleep while there in the hospital either, because it's just so much pressure I was putting on my body that I wasn't allowing my body to progress on its own. I wanted it to move faster than it actually was. They discharged me at around 3:34 on April the 15th. So when I was leaving the hospital, after being admitted, I wanted to leave with my son. It wasn't happening. And I had to live with it. I had to deal with it. I had to accept it. So we got home, and for the first time in those 2 days, I actually had a comfortable nap. I felt so revived after that nap that I was like, okay, maybe this is what I need. Maybe I really needed to relax in order to get this going. Anyways, my husband helped me to exercise, and things progressed. I started feeling my contractions intensify, and I think another reason why I wasn't progressing is because I was counting my contractions, and it was stressing me out to see that they weren't coming consistently anymore. And it's like, okay, so what's happening? Did I just waste my time to come to the hospital? But my sister-in-law, that's a doctor there, she came and she walked with me while I was at the hospital. She walked with me, like just had me walking on the corridors to try and help me progress for like an hour. And she was really helping me to, try and just calm down and relax. She's the one that gave me the advice that said, when I go home, don't answer any phone calls, don't answer any text messages, just relax. And I think that's what really helped me, and I want to thank her for everything that she did for me during my labor and delivery, because honestly, I don't know what I would have done if she wasn't there to help me along. Thank you, Diane. The pains increased. My husband was just looking at me, trying to help me get through my contractions, and I watched this video on how to breathe during labor and delivery. I'm gonna link the video down below if I can find it, but it was really helpful for me. My husband just could not take seeing me in pain, and I was so scared because I didn't want to go back to the hospital and still not be progressing. So like I was trying to delay it as much as possible, but the pain was just getting more and more. I had said to myself that I was not gonna carry on. I was not gonna throw down. I wanted to be just as strong as my mother, so I said I was gonna bear my pain, and that is exactly what I did. He convinced me. He said, we are going to the hospital. We got to the hospital around 10:30, 11, and so many people knew me already. So because the prenatal unit was now full, they took me to the labor ward. The labor ward is for persons that are at 4 cm and above. They hadn't checked me yet to see if I was dilating, but there was no other beds available because there were so many women that were having babies. People, oh my gosh, quarantine really be getting to these Guyanese women. Oh, they eventually came and checked me, and guys, I was 4 cm dilated. Oh my gosh. I had never felt happier during this entire process than to hear, oh, you're at 4 cm. I messaged my husband and I'm like, I'm at 4 cm. He said, thank God. Oh my gosh. So that was around midnight. Yeah, around midnight I think that they checked me, and I was at 4 cm. I laid in that bed. My contractions were coming, going. I felt most of my contractions, the bottom area of my stomach, right? But as the time progressed, after I was 4 and I was going more and more, my lower back felt like it was breaking. It was really hurting. I focused more on the counting and my breathing in, and that's what really helped me to get through all of my contractions without yelling, without feeling like I was going to fall apart. And I kept telling myself that, okay, it's gonna be over soon. With each contraction, the time to see him is coming closer and closer, and that kept me going. So guys, if you're pregnant, because I know a couple of my friends are pregnant and they watch my videos, congratulations again. When you're giving birth, just keep telling yourself, with each contraction, it means that my child is closer to coming. Around 8 o'clock, they checked me and they said I was 8 cm dilated. The pain in my stomach had not increased after being 4 cm and my back was hurting. It was still the same pain. Let me tell you, for me, I don't know if my pain threshold is high or because I've had really bad period cramps. At 8 cm, they said, okay, good, you're ready. Because I'm telling you guys, all that time I was contracting, I was feeling the urge to push. And I'm gonna be honest, you shouldn't do it, but don't do this. Don't say I told you to do it, but let me tell you what I did. Every time I was feeling the urge to push while I was on the bed, before they came and checked me and told me I was 8 cm, I was actually pushing. Just a little bit though. Just a little bit. Don't tell nobody. I don't know if that helped me to progress, but that's what I was doing. They took me to the delivery room, and I'm gonna show you what the room looks like. And they said, okay, wait right here. Since you're just 8, they were waiting for me to dilate to 10. But I was on this bed, and I'm telling you, this urge came. And it was like, girl, you gotta push. And I was trying to push. But then the midwife passed. And she's like, why are you pushing? You're only at 8 cm. Do you want to hurt your baby? Do you want the baby to die? So I was like, all right, let me stop. So it's time. 8 cm. They're gonna come and rupture my water bag because it's not broken as yet. But then the party will begin. I think my water bag broke because I am feeling so much liquid just running. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Then one of my friends came and she's like, how are you doing? Is everything okay? And I was like, I really can't hold in. I have to push. And she's like, okay, let's tell the midwife. I'm like, nurse. When I had the urge to push, like I wasn't even feeling the contractions no more. I was not even feeling that pain anymore. Even though I know it was coming, I know it was there, but it's like I just wasn't even focusing on that anymore because I was just trying to focus on not pushing. You ever had to use the toilet like really bad, right? But you're nowhere close to a toilet, so you have to like hold it in, and you can feel it coming, and you're gonna be there soon, like just now, wait, just relax, and you're just holding it in. Yeah, that it's like that. I just needed to push. I called the midwife. She came and she checked me one more time. One thing to note is that every time they check you to see if you're dilated, they have to push their hands up into your woo-ha, right? And the more they checked, the more dilated I became, the less I felt their hands even enter me. And the midwife was like, okay, yeah, you're ready. And this was just about 5 minutes after they actually told me that I was 8 cm and put me in that room. I was only in there for about 5-10 minutes, and I was feeling the urge to push. After she checked me, she set up everything. They set up the baby's clothes. They sterilized everything with the Dettol. She was like, okay, raise your foot up, hold your ankles, and it's time to push. I started pushing around 8:30. The midwife said he's coming. Like, she kept saying he's coming, but he's coming slowly. And I was pushing and I was pushing and I was pushing, and I started to feel a bit tired because I ended up pushing for around half an hour. I know that's not very long. There are many women who push for hours. I was just feeling mentally exhausted. Yeah, I was pushing, but he was just coming slowly. He was really taking his time. And in the long run, I really appreciated that because I didn't burst, I didn't get any cuts, I didn't have to get slit, anything. I just kept pushing, and every time I felt weak, I would pray because I felt like I never needed God more than in that moment when I was feeling defeated. I said, God, just give me the strength. Just give me the strength to bring this boy into the world. And honestly, I felt God in that room. The minute I felt his angels there. So I just kept pushing. Then I felt this big load. Like, I just felt this big bump down in my parts. And I put my hand to just feel him. At the midwife, she was so calm. She kept saying, you just keep pushing. He's coming. You don't worry. And honestly, she just made me feel so calm. She made me feel so relaxed, because even though like I was feeling so much pressure to just bring him into the world and push him out quickly, she kept saying, take your time, it's okay, he's coming. Because it was just her and I in the room, I felt like I could focus and I would pay attention to what is happening, and I could just take in the moment. So I'm glad that I was alone, that I did it alone. I'm glad God gave me the strength to do it alone. The moment when you feel when the head is crowning, which is when the head comes out, like the top of the head comes out, burns like hell. It burns like hell, people. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting it. I was not expecting it to feel like somebody just opened a big bottle of pepper and just threw it on my parts. I didn't expect that. Nobody told me that it would burn like that. But I dealt with it. It was okay. It was okay. Yeah, it hurt, but you know, it was fine. It was all bearable for me. And our bodies as women are built for labor. But I just kept going. I kept pushing. And I was like, okay, with this, it means that he's almost here. So I just gotta push a little bit more. The midwife said only push when you feel pain. And that's what I was doing the entire time. So I felt this contraction. And I pushed. And I pushed. And I pushed. And his head just popped out. And I was like, okay, yeah, okay. But the midwife says stop pushing. And I stopped. And it's very important for you to, when they say stop, it's very important for you to stop. Even though you're still having the urge to push, it is important to stop, because you can't see what's going on down there. They can see what's going on down there. And I don't know what she saw. I don't know if the cord was around his neck or what, but she just said to stop. And she finagled down there. And then she was like, okay, push. And I just pushed one more time or two more times, and his shoulder was out, and she just pulled him up, and it felt like his arms and his legs just felt so wiggly. It just felt like long wiggles just come out of my vajayjay, and she rested him on my chest. And I felt so emotional in that moment. I was like, oh my gosh, my son is here. And tears came to my eyes. She just rested him on my chest for a little bit while she cleaned him off and she cut the umbilical cord. He was just on my chest for about a couple of seconds. Then she took him to another midwife who cleaned him up, checked his weight and all of that. She pressed on my stomach to make sure all of the blood came out. But before she did that, she just pulled out the placenta. I didn't have to push it or anything. She pulled it out. And it's like after delivering a baby, you just don't feel nothing anymore. Nothing hurts anymore. Like, nothing hurts. Not a thing. You don't even, not a thing. She was pressing on my stomach to ensure all the blood came out. And then she pushed her hand up into my insides and cleaned me out and everything. And I wasn't even feeling none of that. People, I wasn't feeling nothing. I wasn't feeling nothing. I was just waiting to see my baby boy. I was just waiting to hold him in my arms again. So she cleaned me up, and then she told me, okay, so now you can go on your phone, because my phone was there and it was just ringing off the hook. I messaged my husband and I said, he's here. So they had him for a little while. They came with a wheelchair and they put me in the wheelchair and they took me back to my bed. And I was just sitting there, like just waiting for him to come. And the midwife brought him and she just handed me him in my arms and she said, nurse him. And I was like, okay. And I was just there like staring at this boy, like just full of emotions. Oh my gosh, why do I feel like crying? I was just looking at him and I'm like, wow, I did it. And I just thanked God for giving me the strength to do it. Oh my goodness. For just allowing me to bring him into this world. And I pray that he makes me, that I will be an amazing mother and example to my son. Because nothing can make me happier. And that's it. I was in labor since the 13th or 12th. I started feeling my contractions when I was in active labor from the 14th for about 30 something hours, about 35 hours. He was born at 9:08 a.m. on the 16th of April, and if you can hear, he is right here taking his afternoon meal. So that is my labor and delivery story, and I wouldn't change it for the world, because at the end of the day I'm able to have my beautiful baby boy with me, and my life is just complete at this moment. My heart is full and I'm completely happy. So that is it. I know this is a long video, and I'm so sorry about that, but I just didn't want to leave anything out. If you have any other video requests, just let me know. You can either message me on WhatsApp, because you know, a couple of you have my number, you're my friends, you're my family, or send me a message on Instagram, or leave a comment down below. But I hope you like this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you. Okay, Baba. Okay. I will see you in the next one. Have a faithfully blessed day. Bye, guys. Say bye-bye. Can you see your arm? Rudy cannot say bye-bye.